first grade, right?
Yes.
All right, so some of you guys did this last year. If you didn't, that's okay because it's the same thing. Now, those of you that did it last year, who can remember who's in the video I have? Go ahead there, Bevan.
We watched Donald Duck.
Donald Duck, right? Donald Duck's in the video, and he talks to us about ways to prevent fires in our house and how we can make it out safely if we do have a fire. Then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the little house that we have, and we're going to practice all those same fire safety skills. All right, and then after that, we're going to go to the fire engine, and the fire engine, the firefighters are going to put on their gear and tell you guys how that keeps us safe in a fire, how we, the job that we do, and talk about the tools that we use in that job. So you guys ready to get started?
Yeah.
Story begins here. Here's Uncle Doc. He works hard all day, and at night he likes to sit and read his favorite book. His favorite comic.
Uncle John, our teacher says it's important to have fire and peace sign for our house.
We'll never have a fire.
But look, Uncle John, we use friends so you can see all the doors and windows and stairs.
Oh, that's very nice, but I'm reading now.
And our teacher says we ought to practice Edith.
Edith?
Edith!
It's too late to play with Edith.
No, Uncle John, Edith. Exit drills in the hole. The teacher says we ought to have 2 ways out of every room. Yeah, and we got to decide on a place to meet outside.
Yeah, okay. Now run along now, don't bother me.
But Uncle John, we should install smoke detectors in the hallway, upstairs, and in all the bedrooms. And don't forget, we should put in classical ladders upstairs by the bedroom window.
Okay, I will. Tomorrow.
The teacher says we ought to know what to do if our clothes catch on fire. We should stop and cover our face with our hands, and then we should drop. And then we should run until the fire's out.
How many times have I told you not to play on the floor?
We should also have a secondary signal to wake up everybody as soon as the fire room was sleeping.
But that's enough! Teacher says.
Uncle Don!
Go on. Get to bed.
Uncle Don!
Now! Teach her this, teach her that. Fire. We never have one. Those kids. You're not doing right with the kids, Buster. You're not doing right with the kids. I said you're not doing right with the kids, Buster. Hey, look at this. He didn't pay any attention at all. Couldn't even look at the plan. And the signal. I gotta straighten him out. Me? I'm your official fire guy. I'm your common sense. Get it? You're not doing right with the kids. What do you send them to school for, huh? If they shouldn't listen to the teacher, you should have listened to them. They were telling you how to get out of the house.
I know how to get out of my house.
With a fire going on, pal? You're coming with me. You gotta let the line. First step to fire safety is fire prevention. Let's take a look at that house of yours for a minute. Bedroom upstairs, living room, dining room. Wait a second. We have a problem. You don't have smoke detectors. You gotta have them. Put one in each bedroom and one in the hallway upstairs there. The sound will warn you. You'll be prepared if you have a fire. Okay. Remember that old freight lamp cord you kept saying you were going to replace but never did? Just suppose that the bare wires touched. That could cause a spark that could get hot enough to start the rug smoldering, might even work up onto the overstuffed chair. This could smolder for a long time. No flames, but a lot of smoke that has poisonous gases in it. Believe it or not, that smoke is what kills more people than anything else in fire. Hot air makes the smoke rise, so the stairway takes it right up to the second floor. But any house is... All that, come on back. Let's say you got out of that one too. You still got a big problem. Time. There's not much left. The temperature can go up to 1,000 degrees in 3 or 4 minutes where you are, because that super hot air is really pouring in. There are still no flames, but the whole room could go up at any second. Quick, close the door. That'll help keep the heat out. But now what do you do, huh? You do something like trying to save the banjo or Grandpa's picture. Forget 'em. You gotta get out. Fast. Hey, don't forget. Use the window. Right. That's the only way out, but don't forget. You're on the second floor. Okay, you got the message now? Don't take chances. You're not going to let anything happen to you and the kids because you didn't have a fire plan. You gotta have a plan, Pops, a plan. Well, don't just sit there. Do as I tell you. Get the plan the kids made. Pin it up on the wall where everybody can see it. Make notes about the things that are gotta be fixed and replaced around the house. Like that old frayed lamp cord or any other electrical wiring that can be a fire hazard. Put in a connecting door in the room that only opens into the hall. The screens and small windows, can the kids get them off easily? Make sure the windows open easily too. Did you put in those collapsible ladders by all the bedroom windows? Okay, you got a smoke detector in each of the bedrooms too? And you got one in the hallway? Test it and make sure it works. You're doing great. Now get everybody together, talk it over, so they all know what to do, and make sure that the kids know not to hide under the bed or in the closet. Kids do that sometimes when they're scared, you know. Okay, now start the Edith drill with the kids in bed. After all, the most dangerous time is when everybody is asleep. Now you go to your bedroom and sound the alarm. Use your secondary signal just to be safe. They should roll out of bed and drop without standing up. Then they should crawl on their hands and knees across the floor because any good air is going to be down low. Tell them to feel the door first, and if it's hot, don't open it. Now they got to go to the alternate exit, the window. Right. Use the collapsible ladder and go. Okay, now you, pal. Use the secondary escape from your room. Now go around and help the kids down. And you're out, safe and sound. Now that you got everybody out, count noses. Make sure nobody's nose goes back in. Here's where you should all go to a neighbor's phone and call for help as fast as you can. That's it, Pops. You're prepared in case of a fire.
Nice going, Uncle Don. Yeah, now we have a plan.
That's right. And we should practice the Gertrude drill.
Uncle Don, that's the Edith drill. And the drills in the home.
Right. Well, we should practice the Edith drill at least once a month. Someday it might not be a drill. It might be real.
Suppose our house were different. Maybe a one-story house. And you couldn't figure out how to make a plan.
Well, I'd ask you guys. Thanks to your teacher, you're 3 fire experts now.
What if you didn't have us, guys?
Well, I called the local fire department. I'm sure they'd be glad to help. Why, they'd even come out here and help me inspect the house.
Now you're thinking.
I'm thinking fire safety, thanks to you.
Uncle Don, who are you talking to?
Wait, you mean you don't hear? Oh, well, I was just, well, he's a fireman. Kind of a fireman duck.
A duck?
An invisible duck.
Invisible duck? An invisible duck.
See, I told him.
Some people are so hard to convince.
Okay, that's pretty good, wasn't it? Cool, it was. So listen, there's some things that we need to go over because you just watched the movie. So how many ways do we need out of the house? 2, that's right. What's the number we would call for help?
911.
That's right, 911. Now, if we would wake up in the morning and if we have smoke in our house, will we stand up in the smoke? No, we get down low, wouldn't we? And we crawl over to the door, right? And we touch the door and it was hot. Will we open it?
No!
We would go through our other way out because we always got to have 2 ways out. So if we came over to that door and it was hot, maybe we could go to that door and that way we would be out safe.
Yeah.
Now listen, there's a few other things. Do you guys know your addresses?
Yeah. Yes, I know.
Okay. It's just important that you know where you live. It's important you know where you live. Now listen, what about if we found lighters or matches? We don't mess with those, do we? No. We would take them to our moms and dads and say, here, well, I found this. So don't ever play with those things, okay? Don't ever do that.
Or ask your grandpa if he can make a fire.
Well, maybe let Grandpa take care of it. That's right. But listen, if we're out of the house, do we go back in for something that we forgot?
No.
No. Once we're out, we don't go back in. So we got to have a certain meeting place, don't we?
Yeah.
Just like you do at school. You have a fire drill at school, you need to have a fire drill at home, okay? All right, so now we're going to get ready to go out to the house on wheels where we've got a little smokehouse where you'll get to practice some of the same things that Huey, Louie, and Billy just did. All right? So get lined up there for your teacher. Good job, guys. Good job. You okay? All right. Good job. Good job. Go to your meeting place. Everybody. Come on, you all right? Take it off. You'll be all right. Yeah. All right. Come on. Good job, guys. Good job. Tooth Fairy come see her, mate. There you go. Good job.
Boys and girls, what did we say to the firefighters?
Alright, now that we've made it out to our meeting place, how do we make sure that we know everybody has made it here? Right? We have to have the teacher count everybody's shade to make sure that everybody that went in there came out. Everybody that went in, everybody's back out here to our meeting place. Now that we've made it out here to our meeting place, do we ever want to go back in the house once we're outside? Absolutely not. We don't go back in the house. We stay outside where our meeting place is, with mom and dad. And if we left our pet in there, our cat, dog, our favorite toy or whatever, we tell mom and dad to tell the firemen to see if they can get our cat or dog out. Okay? We don't ever go back in there. What do you do if your clothes catch fire? Everybody tell me.
Stop.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If your clothes catch fire, stop right where you're at, drop to the ground, cover your face, and roll until the fire goes out. You never ever want to run. If you run, the fire will burn hotter and it will hurt you. Okay? It will really, really hurt you really bad. So don't ever run if your clothes catch fire. Listen, tonight, when you get home, you got a little bit of homework to do. Your homework is to have mom and dad, have them tell you what your house number is and what your street name is. Because it's very important. If you ever have to call 911, you need to know that. Okay? Can everybody do that tonight?
Yeah.
All right. And we never call 911 and play pranks on the phone. Okay? You only call that number if there's a true emergency. Listen, you've been a great group. Y'all ready to go see a fire truck?
Yeah!
All right. Well, listen, have a great day, all right?
He said,
We don't want to breathe that. Sometimes this stuff is heavy. It's very heavy too, and it's hard to put on. So firefighters always work in pairs, so there's two at a time. But anyway, this is the air. He carries it with him. It's in this tank. He kind of looks like Rocket Man now, don't he? He's about ready to fly away. But no, this is just a tank of air, and this is the air that he breathes when he's inside the building. So he's able to come in and help you. Now, next thing firefighter Andy's going to put on is going to be his mask. Well, let us grab one more thing here. So, the mask, when he puts this on, he's not going to look much like a person now. Now, this is where we want you to realize that firefighter Andy's here to help you. Don't be afraid of firefighter Andy, okay? He's coming in to help you. Even though he doesn't look like a person much anymore, when he puts his gear on, he is your friend, and he's here to help you, and we don't hide from him. He looks like he's Rocket Man. He's about ready to fly away, don't he? Yeah. So the mask keeps all the smoke and all the bad stuff out and the fresh air in. So next thing firefighter Andy's going to put on is his helmet. His helmet is it's made out of really hard material, and it protects his head. So if something falls and hits him on the head, or a light falls or a board or something, it doesn't hurt him, and he's still able to come in and help us. So next thing he's going to do is he's going to turn his air bottle on. Now when he turns the air bottle on, it's going to make some funny noises. These noises are just telling firefighter Andy, they're talking to him. They're telling him, hey, your bottle is full of air. and you're ready to go, you're safe, you're ready to go in and do your work. Next thing he's going to do is there's a hose that plugs into his mask. This is what makes the air go into the mask that he's going to be breathing to keep all the smoke out. Now sounds funny. It sounds like Darth Vader, doesn't he, in Star Wars? And he doesn't look much like a person, does he? But again, he's our friend and he's here to help us. Did you hear that noise? Let me tell you what that noise was telling him. It was telling him he was standing still and he should be working, and it's telling him to get to work. So, next thing firefighter Andy's going to put on is his gloves. And his gloves are made out of material that doesn't burn too, so they protect his hands. Because if we burn our hands, we can't work, can we? No, it would hurt. So this is what firefighter Andy looks like when he jumps out of the truck to come to a fire, to come help you. He's scary looking. He doesn't look like a person. He doesn't sound like a person. And we might be somewhat afraid of him, but firefighter Andy is our friend. So we don't want to hide from him. We don't want to get in the closet or under the bed. He is here to help us, and he is going to take us out and take us to safety. So firefighter Andy's going to go around, and you can shake his hand or give him a fist bump or a high five. But let's give firefighter Andy a hand because he did a really great job for dressing up for us, didn't he? So this is what firefighter Andy's going to look like when he shows up to a fire. So when he jumps out of the truck, when the fire truck shows up and he jumps out of the truck, this is what he looks like. He's already dressed. He puts the gear on at the station, he puts the pack and the mask and the helmet on in the truck. So as soon as the truck stops, he jumps out of the truck and he's ready to go to work. Now we're going to let firefighter Andy take his gear and stuff back off because it's very heavy and it's very hot in there. So we're going to let him take that back off. But this is what he looks like when he jumps out of the truck. So when he jumps out of the truck, he runs around and he comes over and he grabs this hose. And this is our fire hose. And it's just like a water hose, except for it's a really big water hose because it sprays a lot of water. And that's what firefighter Andy puts the fire out with. But since it's a really big hose and it sprays a lot of water, we gotta have a lot of water. So the fire truck, even though you can't see it, in behind this wall, there's a really big tank. And it holds water. And it holds 1,000 gallons of water. Just think about that, 1,000 gallons. That's like 1,000 milk jugs in your refrigerator. It's like 1,000 of them full of water. And that's what allows us to put out the fire really fast. Now the fire truck also has a lot of other tools on it too. Over here's a fan. We use fans for it. Once we put the fire out and the building is full of smoke and we want to get the smoke out really fast, we put that fan in the door and it'll blow the smoke out really quick and then you can see. Here we have a saw. And it's a special saw. The saw is really cool because we can take this saw and if we can't get in the door and we need to cut a hole in a wall or in a roof, we can cut a hole and get in there really quick and do what we need to do. We have a lot of other tools too. We got one. I don't have it with me, but I got to tell you about this one. This one is really cool. So we've got this camera, and it's a really special camera. So if it's in the middle of the night and it's really dark and you can't even see your hands in front of your face, we got this camera that we can go in and we can walk around and we show this camera and we can see you. And we can see your dog, and we can see your cat, or any of your animals, or we can see fire. We can see anything with this camera. So when it's completely dark, and if your dog is in the house and he's hiding under the couch, we can see the dog hiding under the couch with the camera and pick him up and take him to safety. Because we never go back in for anything, do we?
No.
No. Once we go out, we go to our meeting place, right? And we don't go back in. We let the firefighters go in, and they have all the protective equipment and a lot of training to be able to do this.